Hello, everybody, and welcome to another mini episode with me, DJ Batman. In today's episode, I'm talking about the problem with woke culture and how it's destroying our culture as we know it. So basically, woke culture started not too long ago, and it was originally supposed to be this thing where, it gets more good shows on TV, but unfortunately has turned into a thing by a minority of the population in the United States that is using it to attack people or to get what they want, even though it makes no sense. Like, for instance, Disney making Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where Snow White is not white. Or, better yet, she may have a white complexion to a degree, but is not, skin color is not what it's supposed to be described in the book, which is as white as snow. Or for instance, taking a role like Annie and replacing it with black actors. Not to, basically replacing roles that were designed a specific way is not being progressive or progressing in any way. All you're doing is taking things that were written a certain way and then altering them to the way you want, which then in turn makes it so that story is not the same story. You're basically telling something different because you're altering that artist's work. It's the same thing goes with the new Lord of the Rings series, which they're adding black actors not because they're making, roles that make sense, but they're just adding them to characters, even though those characters have been fleshed out and have been designed to look and act a certain way, but now is being changed specifically just to appease somebody. Because we have people nowadays that are just like, well, I see this person on screen, so now it makes me feel good about myself. I'm like, well, if you have to see or witness something of somebody that looks or acts just like you, then you never want to do it in the first place. Because people will always do what they want to do. It's just like a saying. Jacques Fresco said, that I'm bored. That some people say, I'm bored, but it's like you're not bored. You're always doing what you want to do. So, personally, I wish that this woke culture would go away, and we go back to how things used to be, which is we write shows and roles specifically to tell a story, not to make somebody's feelings better. Because if all you're doing is trying to appease to a few people, you're never going to tell good stories. I mean, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and many other great series have been ruined due to this. Like the the Doctor Who series, for instance. Instead of using the two female characters they already created that basically have the same characteristics as the Doctor, no, what they want to do is replace the Doctor with a woman, not for a good reason, but because diversity, which is not a good way, because then now they've screwed up the entire timeline of the Doctor. Now apparently the Doctor started as a black girl, and they tested on her and all this stuff. It's like, can we just stop with this? Can we stop making race and gender a big part of shows and movies now? Because the problem is, like, I challenge anybody to go back and watch old shows like Dinosaurs, Family Matters, and stuff, and you watch stuff now, you see that now it's being pushed more to be separate from each other than together. Because if you go back and you watch the old stuff, it was about bringing people together. They did talk about issues that were going around at the time, but they didn't do it in a way where it made anyone feel bad about themselves. It didn't make it go, like, for instance, like when Family Matters, when they dealt with issues that people dealt with in the black community back then, they didn't make us be like, oh, white people are bad. It was just like, hey, this happens, but we need to deal with it. And that's the thing that irritates me with this culture that we're in now, is that people are willing to cancel people over what they say. Comedians can't really be comedians anymore. If they say the wrong joke, people, hurt them, not physically, but, financially, along with, losing their job possibly. Or, having to take a break for some time, which hurts. So it's just, in the end, people, we need to stop, don't watch movies if they're replacing a role with a certain race or gender. Don't support these things because they're not doing it to tell a good story. They're just doing it to push their own agendas. Because people don't understand. Hollywood and Disney and all these companies, they have a bigger agenda in plan. And it's about controlling us. It's about so that we give them what they want and basically never complain. It's like Disney. People don't complain about Disney, even though Disney themselves have done horrible stuff over the last 5 years. Like, some really horrible stuff. Especially during the pandemic, when they basically just told everybody on their cruise ship they're on their own. Didn't even bother to help them. So it's just, we need to stop supporting these corporations. We need to stop giving these our money to movies and TV shows and all this stuff. Stop giving our time to these woke garbage. And in the end, these people do not care about us. They just want to push their agenda. They just want to push what they believe on others and make you think it's good. And like I said with these movies, like with the new Batman, the only reason they cast the Zoe, I don't remember her last name, in the role to play Catwoman is mainly because she's black. Has nothing to do with her being good at her role or any of that stuff. So it irritates me. And of course, people always bring up, well, Eartha Kitt. And it's like, yeah, Eartha Kitt was on the original series, but she only appeared a few times. It was mainly because the main actress couldn't be there at those days. But she was only casted because she was good at what she did. And people have said to me, well, how do you know that she was? And Zoe now isn't being casted because she's a good actress. I'm like, because if you look at the culture, you can tell. Like colleges, like they make it easier for somebody who isn't white or Asian to get into college than a white or Asian person, which has to get a higher score than any other race. All we're doing is we're making it seem like somebody's doing better when they're not. It's another subject I'll talk about, but it's just like when it deals with the disability community. Like somebody like me who has a learning disability gets treated differently than somebody who actually has a physical disability or something you can tell that something wrong with them. So, but anyways, it's just, we need to stop supporting this stuff. We got to stop letting it, manipulate us and realize that a lot of these movies and TV shows are not made to make good entertainment. It's about pushing a message, and you need to be seeing it because you're being, brainwashed and manipulated and not realizing it. So, I mean, if you want brainwash and manipulation, go on YouTube and look up sorority videos. My goodness, they seem like they're all brainwashed completely. It's terrifying. But anyways, that's just my opinion on it. It's just, we need to get away from it. We need to stop letting it control us and stop supporting the stuff that is pushing it, So I'm all for, making new characters for people that are black or Asian or whatever, but I'm not about taking roles or characters that were already designed a specific way and changing them just to make somebody happy. So, but anyways, everyone take it easy. Please leave a comment. It really helps let me know what you think of the shows. Also, don't forget to hit like. It really helps get my information out there to more people. And if you would like to hear more, don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to follow and, pick up more information. And also, if you'd like to support the show, I will always, have my links down below for my Teespring and my Etsy store. I do a lot of good 3D printing and make some designs for t-shirts. Always making new stuff. And like always, I leave my episodes with a song. So we're going to leave you with a song called On the Cloud by an artist called Garden Friend. I'm DJ Batman, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
got my feet on the cloud.